On March 16th, Officer Richard Davis is a senior officer with the police department. He has 15 years on. Responded to the Westside Parkway in regards to a report that he had a day earlier of motorcycle riders being on the parkway and causing disruption. He had tried several times to get on the parkway in the area of Callaway and Brimhall Road without success. However, at about 7:30 that evening, he was able to enter in the area of Callaway and Brimhall Road. He traveled eastbound on the parkway for a mile or two, somewhere in that area. It was estimated his speed was at approximately 60 miles an hour when he came across a gap in the roadway and was unable to stop in time. He went over the gap, about a 14-foot gap in the roadway, and his vehicle crashed.
So this is a brand new car?
It is.
Your thoughts on this?
Well, whether it's a brand new car or an older car, an accident happened in this incident, and we'll have to deal with that internally.
Someone had reported that he'd said to someone that I'm testing out the speeds. Was a witness that said that. Was there any truth to that?
We have one witness that estimated his speed at 60 miles an hour. We pulled the computer from the car. The computer also states that he was going 62 miles an hour at a maximum speed, which tells me when we have a patrol car that has a capability of going over 120 miles, that's not the case.
How many witnesses were there to this that we know?
There was one witness to the incident.
Were any members of the public told what they should or should not do with any pictures they may have had of this incident?
No, we did have a tow truck driver who came to the scene of the incident. He wanted to take pictures. He was told that was not his job. At the scene of the incident, his job was to tow the vehicle. I think there was a mention of intimidation by the officers, but that was not the case.
How do we know that?
Well, I think that it is not the tow truck's driver's responsibility to take photos at an accident. That's not what we hire them for. That's not why they're subcontractors with our agency. Their job is to provide a service to us, to tow our vehicles, and I believe it's against tow company policies to take pictures of any of our vehicles, whether in this instance or in instances where there's evidence in vehicles that we don't want made public.
Who's going to pay for the car?
Well, that'll be taken out of our general fund, so obviously it is with taxpayers' dollars that we'll be paying for the car.
Was he supposed to be out there? Was he dispatched out there, or did he just go out there on his own?
He was not dispatched out there, but I can tell you, since the construction projects have started on the trip, we've had numerous requests to respond to various sorts of crimes, thefts, and trespassers out in the area to go and check them out. As I said before, he, a day prior, was contacted by an employee, whether a contractor or a city employee, over in that area of Brimhall and Callaway, and asked to watch out on the parkway for motorcycle riders who were being disruptive in the area.
But wasn't he in an area that wasn't open to the public?
None of the area is open to the public, but what I would say to that is you have to remember that police officers are exempt to the rules of the road, and while in this case it was determined that Officer Davis was party one in this collision, he was still out there providing a service for somebody that requested him to go out there.
So not only were the motorcyclists going too fast, they weren't even supposed to be out there to begin with because it's closed?
Yes, no public vehicle should be on that roadway.
So was he going at a safe speed for an unfinished road?
I can tell you that the traffic investigation revealed that he was party one of this accident, and he was driving an unsafe speed for the conditions that he was in at that point.
So is he being disciplined in any way?
Well, I can't get into the discipline issue. That is a confidential personnel issue, but I can tell you that I have received the entire report. The report will go to his supervisor for a recommendation. Officers, when they face disciplinary action, face anywhere from verbal reprimand all the way to termination. So because I can't discuss that, I won't at this point.
But he was going at unsafe speed. That's in the report?
That is in the report.
So is he a patrol officer, or what is his normal duty?
His duties are patrol.
Were the motorcyclists ever found?
No.
Were motorcyclists injured or their vehicles, we know, been damaged dropping into
I,
a 14-foot hole?
I do not, no.
Was the officer injured?
I can't discuss that either. Once again, that's a confidential issue that I'd rather keep private.
How big was the gap in the road, and did he hit anything afterwards?
I'm going to try and describe this the best I can. The roadway ends into a dirt thoroughfare, so work trucks can drive perpendicularly over the road. On the other side, or on the east side of the roadway, the concrete or the asphalt drops off about 1.5 feet or so. And so there was a 14-foot gap between when he left the actual asphalt roadway into where he made contact or the point of impact on the other side of the roadway.
So it was 14 feet wide and maybe 18 inches deep.
18 inches deep.
Witnesses told us that the accident happened about 4:45 in the afternoon. You're saying that's not the case?
That's incorrect.
The call came in the day before, or he got a personal call about?
No, once again, he was out in the area of Brimhall and Callaway Road, where a lot of the individuals who work on the parkway, I think that's a meeting point for them where they pick up their heavy equipment and they drop their cars off and those types of things. He was contacted in that area by a worker to notify him of what is going on in the parkway in regards to the motorcycles and those types of things, and so he took it upon himself to give extra patrol to the area.
The next day.
Yes,
And at what time was he out there?
it was 7:30. Did you have something else?
Yeah, I know you said he's been reprimanded, I'm not sure if that's a term you use for driving at excessive speed. I mean, at best, that's a big lack of common sense, especially for a guy who's a patrol officer doing 62 miles an hour on a freeway that's not finished on a, it's not a 911 call, it's not an urgent call, and what's he doing 62 miles an hour?
Right, and that's why the investigation says he's going at an unsafe speed, and that's why we're handling it internally to determine if disciplinary action is appropriate for the case.
Is he on leave or anything, or is he
No.
still active?
Right, yes,
He is active.
he is active.
Is the car able to be repaired, or you have to order a complete new one, or?
I believe the car is a total loss. I haven't got the final report, but that was a preliminary report in regards to the vehicle that was crashed.
So why weren't we able to ever get video of the cop car? Why was it hidden in the lot if it was just him going on a routine call?
The car wasn't hidden, and I can tell you this, is that the car was placed in the back lot, and that's typical from what we do, okay? The incident happened is that one of the reporters gained access to the back lot, okay, and they got the picture. So we weren't trying to be unfair to any of the other reporters or any of the other stations by not giving them access to that. The fact of the matter is that the car has evidence in it, okay? And we didn't want the evidence tainted. That includes the airbag deployment and those types of things. And so the access was denied to the rest of the stations, and we apologize for that. But because it is a confidential and internal investigation, that's how we felt it was best and most appropriately handled.
But how does us taking video of the cop car affect the investigation or the officer or his privacy or any of that?
Okay, let me give you the scenario. The gate opens, okay, and without calling the PIO or anybody from the police department, a reporter enters our back lot. We don't know what they're doing, okay? So at that point, it was my decision to make that I wasn't going to allow access to the back lot at all until we were done with the investigation.
Can we look at it now?
I don't mind if you look at it at all.
Well,
I don't know if it's back there.
Was Officer Davis ever suspended or on leave?
I can't get into that issue.
Chief, was he under the influence of anything, or?
I don't believe so, no.
How many years has he been on the force?
15 years.
15 years.
Is this a reasonable length for the investigation that's not finished yet for a case like this? I mean, from our layman's view, this seems pretty cut and dry.
I agree with you, Todd. I'm not going to disagree with you. I can say this, is that the traffic report was done within a few days. Obviously, the forensic investigation of the vehicle took a few more days, and we had to call some people in to assist us with that. Okay. After that, obviously there was news stories in regards to several witnesses that we tried to track down, and we've done that over the period of time, and hopefully we've got all of those. If there's other witnesses out there, we'd like them to come forward, obviously. In addition, it takes time to compile the report and write it and do all those types of things. I got the report on the 10th, which was 2 days ago. I reviewed it yesterday, and I asked for the news conference today.
How much is the car valued at?
Well, I don't know exactly. I would guess that we purchased them for $25,000 or so in that area. I don't recall the bids exactly, and then obviously there's additional equipment that's added on. We'll try to harvest that equipment for reuse.
Once you add the equipment, can you put a ballpark on how much the car's worth?
Oh, I would guess about $37,000.
Now, the witnesses said that, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, the witnesses said that he not only was ordering people to erase cell phone video or cell phone pictures, but was also saying, quote, "This never happened." Do you have any information that those two things ever occurred?
We had a sergeant, 2 officers investigating, and Officer Davis out at the scene. They were in contact with 4 individuals that came up on the scene, one of them that witnessed the incident, and then the tow truck driver. None of the officers that were interviewed in regards to this case said that there was any intimidation involved. No one ever, including the witness who was asked not to take pictures, and that's a tow truck driver, never did he state either that he was intimidated to erase photos. In fact, he stated that he never took photos. So the individuals that we know that took photos or video of the incident are the supervisor who is in charge of the construction process out there on the roadway, and our traffic investigators.
What kind of car is Officer Davis assigned to now?
I don't know.
So the only ones that took pictures or tried to was the tow truck driver, no other just random witnesses out there?
Not that we've become aware of, no.
So the tow truck driver tried to take pictures and they wouldn't let him? Or he did take pictures?
He did not take pictures.
But there was one other set of pictures besides the PDs?
And those are from, like I said, from the individual, the supervisor who is in charge of the construction project out
Oh,
there.
and he was never ordered to erase those?
No.
Okay.
Is there any record of the initial call for concern about the motorcycle riders? Is that more just?
No,
somebody
we-
calls the officer and says,
Right.
hey. this
No,
is going on.
nobody called him. I believe they met him over in the area. They saw him. And I don't know exactly what he was doing in the area, but I know there was a fast trip that officers often go to get coffee or a soda or something. And we get requests from citizens all the time. Hey, I saw this, or hey, can you help us out with that? And we respond to those calls if we have the time at that exact that exact moment.
So it was kind of a verbal, informal exchange.
Yes.
And did you first hear about the crash from the officer, or did a witness call it in, or
Did the officer?
Did I hear about it?
did the department first hear about it?
No, it's my understanding that the officer contacted the supervisor and asked him to respond to the scene of the accident.
Has he had any other issues in the past where he's had to be reprimanded?
I'm not going to get into Officer Davis's past. I've already stated that.
Is there any record of that call to the supervisor?
I do not know.
Okay. His activity log for that day ends about that time. But
Okay.
There's no mention of the actual accident on his activity log. Why is that?
He may have contacted the supervisor via cell phone, and that's not uncommon either.
Do you know currently how many other interceptors are on the road right now?
Well, I believe all of our patrol cars are Interceptors. I don't know how many new ones we have deployed at this point. We've ordered.
I'm sorry, the new ones.
We ordered approximately 40 or so. I think they were in the budget last year, and it takes the garage sometime, or it takes our MOT unit sometime to get the cars from order to delivery, and then we get about one about every 1 or 2 weeks that is fully equipped.
So what is the title of his boss that will be deciding what happens to him? Is it a...
I'll make the ultimate decision.
So
It will go to the captain of his division.
So captain of patrol, is that how you would call him?
That'd
Is
be
that
his
the
proper
correct-
That
title?
would be fine. Operations captain.
Operations.
So the ops captain will make a report to you and then you make a final decision?
That's correct.
Does he include a recommendation?
He includes a recommendation.
But that won't be made public in your final decision.
No.
Do you know when you expect that'll be done? Is there sort of a timeline for that, or?
I would guess by the end of next week.
I know someone asked this, but just to be
Okay.
clarified, he is on patrol still?
He is.
Any other questions?
Anything else you want to say, Chief?
No, I'm good. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, sir.